Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Otaku Central.
Hey, everyone.
Go ahead and just let this run in the background while you're doing whatever you're up to and get ready for an absolutely wild rundown today.
Yeah, we're diving deep into a story that starts pretty intense.
Okay, so picture this. Out of nowhere, these kind of weird, mysterious gates start popping up, like everywhere.
And it's not just gates. Monsters start pouring out. Scary stuff.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And the kicker, your normal weapons, like guns, tanks, whatever, completely useless against these things.
Total chaos, you'd imagine, until certain people started waking up with special powers.
Yeah, they call them hunters. Pretty straightforward name, right? And they're the only ones who can actually fight these monsters.
Exactly. And what's really key right from the start is this rule they have. Once you awaken as a hunter, your power level, it's pretty much fixed.
Right. You can't just grind and level up like in a game. Or, well, that's what everyone thinks. Your strength comes from getting better weapons, better armor, better gear, basically.
It sets up this whole hierarchy, a pretty rigid system based on your initial rank. S rank at the top, down to, well, E rank at the bottom.
And that takes us right to our main guy, Jin-Woo. Man, this dude starts off legendary, but not in a good way. He's known as the weakest hunter in the world.
Oof. Yeah, stuck at E rank. Apparently he had this really bad experience, almost died in a super low-level dungeon.
Can you imagine? Everyone just sees him as a liability, someone you don't want on your raid team. Even his weapon is just this, like, generic knife. It just screams, I'm barely scraping by.
It really paints a picture of how tough this world is if you're not powerful. You're kind of looked down on, almost disposable.
But these dungeons, they're not just about killing monsters. There's loot involved. Big time.
Oh, yeah. Essence stones and mana crystals. You get them from the monsters you defeat.
And this stuff is valuable. Like, really valuable. You use it to craft awesome gear, powerful weapons.
And it's not just for hunters. Apparently the governments are eyeing those mana crystals as maybe like a new energy source.
Wild, right? Fighting monsters could literally power the world.
It adds another layer to the whole hunter profession. It's not just defense, it's resource gathering, potentially fueling economies.
So Jin-Woo's in another raid, right? And predictably, it's not going great for him. He gets injured, his cheap knife breaks. Classic Jin-Woo situation.
Yeah, sounds about right for him at the start. Needs his teammates to save him again.
But then, things get weird. They finish the main dungeon, but find a hidden entrance. A second dungeon inside the first one. A double dungeon.
Ooh, intriguing. More danger, but potentially way more loot, right?
Exactly. But it's risky. And there are strict Hunter Association rules about going into unverified hidden dungeons. Some of the team wants to go, some are like, no way.
That classic risk versus reward scenario. Plus, breaking the rules could get them in serious trouble.
And guess who makes the deciding vote to go in? Jin-Woo.
Wait, the weakest guy. Why would he push for more danger?
Because he has to. It hits you kind of hard when you find out why.
Yeah.
His dad's missing, gone for years. His mom, she's in the hospital with this really rare disease, the eternal sleep.
Eternal sleep. That sounds ominous.
It is. And get this, it's somehow linked to mana exposure back when the gates first appeared. Super tragic irony, right? Plus, he's got his younger sister, Gina, who's still a student. He's the sole provider.
Oh, man. Okay, that changes things. He's not chasing glory. He's desperate. He needs the money from those essence stones for his family.
Totally. So, despite the risks, he convinces them to go in. They step inside the double dungeon, and it's not what they expected at all.
No monsters.
No, it's like this massive ancient temple. Really creepy vibe. And it's filled with these huge, imposing statues all around them.
Statues, huh? Okay, that's definitely not standard dungeon procedure.
And in the center, there's this ancient-looking tablet with commandments written on it. But it's not friendly advice. It's basically, worship us, prove your faith, or you die.
Whoa. Okay, that's a major curveball. From monster slaying to some kind of deadly religious seriously. And before they can even process it, one of the giant statues just moves. Its eyes glow red. It fires this beam and bam! Instantly kills one of the hunters. Just like that.
Jeez. Okay, so the statues are the threat. And clearly way more powerful than anything they should be facing in a D-rank connected dungeon.
Panic erupts, obviously. People are freaking out. But here's where Jin-Woo's weakness actually becomes kind of useful.
How so?
Because he's always been weak, always struggling to survive near-death situations in dungeons. He's developed these insane observational skills. He has to, just to stay alive.
So he notices things others might miss.
Exactly. He senses the energy building in another statue, realizes it's about to attack, and manages to shout a warning. Saves a few lives, probably.
Wow, all those times he barely scraped by actually honed a different kind of survival skill.
But
Interesting.
But even with warnings, these statues are brutal. They're wiping the floor with the hunters, way, way stronger than D rank. Jin-Woo keeps having flashbacks to all those times he almost died just trying to keep up with stronger hunters. This situation sounds completely impossible. How do you even fight giant laser beam shooting statues? And what does prove your faith even mean in this context?
Nobody knows. It's terrifyingly vague. People start getting desperate. They try attacking, they try praying, they try running. Nothing works. The statues just keep killing them.
Yeah, the pressure must be immense.
Totally. The groove starts breaking down. Remember Kim. He decides he needs to get back to his family, makes a run for it, gets cut down. Then Sanchi, another hunter, tries to protect Ji, who's just frozen in fear. It's chaos and death.
It sounds horrific just watching your comrades fall one by one.
Eventually gets down to the final, brutal confrontation. Jin-Woo is the only one left standing, facing these overwhelming statues. He knows it's hopeless.
Oh.
He takes an absolute beating, just gets pummeled relentlessly. It looks like it's over for him. One statue raises its weapon for the final blow. A timer on that commandment tablet hits 0, and just as he's about to die,
Yeah, what happens?
this weird blue screen pops up right in front of his eyes, like a video game interface. And it asks him, do you want to become a player? Then darkness.
Whoa! A system message at the moment of death. That's unexpected.
Right. Next thing he wakes up, he's in a hospital bed.
He survived.
Miraculously, yeah. And not just survived, he's completely healed. No trace of the beating he took. But there are Hunter Association guys there from the surveillance division.
Ah, the cleanup crew. They must be wondering what happened.
They're totally confused.
Yeah.
The few other survivors who got out before the door is sealed mention these crazy, powerful statues. But when the association sends in a recovery team, even high-rank White Tiger Guild goes in, they find nothing.
Nothing. No statues, no bodies even.
Exactly. Just an empty cave. It doesn't make sense. So naturally, suspicion falls on Jin-Woo, the guy who went in weak and came out healed when everyone else died or barely escaped. They figure he must have had a second awakening.
It's the only logical explanation in their world, right? A sudden, massive power-up.
So they wheel in the magic power measurement device. Everyone's waiting to see his new amazing score. And the result,
Super high, S rank maybe.
abysmal, like a 10, even lower than his original E-rank score.
What? How is that possible?
The officials are just baffled. They
Oh.
dismiss him because he's just lucky and still weak. They leave. But Jin-Woo, he's freaking out because he could still see that blue screen, that system interface floating in front of him.
The player system.
Yeah. His sister Gina comes to visit, worried sick, but she can't see the screen at all. It's only visible to him.
So he's got this secret, this whole other layer to his reality now that no one else perceives. That's wild.
He starts messing with it, trying to figure it out. He finds these things called daily quests, simple stuff like push-ups, running, sit-ups. But there's a catch.
Oh.
If he fails to complete the daily quest within the time limit,
That's
a penalty, like what, lose some points? He wishes. He skips it the first time, thinking it's just a game thing. Big mistake. Suddenly, poof, he's transported. Not in the hospital anymore. He's in this vast, terrifying desert.
What? Transported for skipping push-ups?
Yep. And the penalty quest? Survive. For 4 hours against these giant, monstrous desert centipedes that erupt from the sand.
Are you kidding me? That's insane. For a daily quest penalty.
Totally. He barely survives, running for his life, dodging these massive monsters. Just when he thinks he's done for, the timer runs out and poof, he's back in his hospital bed, covered in sand and sweat.
Okay, lesson learned. Don't skip the daily quests. This system is not playing around.
You bet he doesn't skip them again. He starts doing them religiously, and guess what? It works. He fully recovers, his injuries vanish, he gets status points he can allocate to strength, agility, perception, like an RPG character.
He's actually leveling up, the one thing hunters supposedly can't do.
Exactly. He gets an inventory screen, learns actual skills. It feels completely like he's playing a video game, but it's real life. He even gets these random loot boxes as rewards sometimes.
Yeah. Loot boxes.
Seriously.
Yeah. And one day, from a daily quest reward, he gets a key. A key to something called an instance dungeon, located in an abandoned subway station. The system tells him this is a place where he can get stronger.
Okay, so the system isn't just about daily workouts. It's giving him his own private dungeons to clear.
Seems like it. It's his path forward. Around this time, we also get that flashback confirming his mom's illness, the eternal sleep, was caused by mana exposure when the gates first appeared. It really drives home his motivation. He needs to get strong, make money, find a cure.
Right, that puts everything into perspective. It's not just about power, it's deeply personal.
So he checks out this restricted area, a place where a dungeon break happened, monsters spilling out into the real world. It's chaos. A huge golem is wrecking hunters left and right. And he sees G there, the healer from the double dungeon, still clearly traumatized.
Oh, wow, she's still trying to be a hunter after that. That takes guts. She's struggling. The golem's about to get her. But Jin-Woo, watching from the sidelines, acts. He takes the new sword he probably bought with his system money, remember, his knife broke, and launches it with impossible speed and force.
He throws his sword.
Yeah. It distracts the golem just enough, creates an opening for the other higher-rank hunters to finally take it down. Then Jin-Woo just slips away before anyone can see who did it.
His first real, public display of power, even if it was anonymous, showing glimpses of what he's becoming.
Totally. But then it's back to the grind. Daily quests. A nurse notices how drastically his physique has changed, how much stronger he looks. It's a small detail, but it shows the system is having real physical effects.
While he's doing his secret level-up thing, we get a quick look at a real S-rank hunter, Beck, super famous, super strong, and his training routine is insane, incredibly disciplined.
Yeah, it's a great contrast. The established way to be strong versus Jin-Woo's hidden, accelerated path.
Makes you wonder how they'll compare eventually.
So Jin-Woo needs money again. Those hospital bills aren't cheap. He takes a job as a porter, basically, carrying gear for a B-rank hunter named Dan-suk and his party. They're raiding a C-rank dungeon. Should be easy money, right?
Uh-oh. I have a bad feeling about this Dan-suk guy already.
Your instincts are good. They go into the dungeon, and it's strangely dark and empty at first. Then, bam, ants attack from the ceiling. A coordinated ambush.
Ants. Okay, creepy.
But Jin-Woo, with his boosted perception stat, thanks to the system, actually senses the attack coming and warns them just in time. Dan-suk's party handles the ants pretty easily. They're B-rankers after all. But Jin-Woo's kind of bored, maybe even a little frustrated. This C-rank stuff is too easy for him now.
He's already out-leveling these dungeons without even fighting much.
Pretty much. Then they find the boss room. Inside, there are piles of valuable mana crystals just sitting there, guarded by a big sleeping boss monster.
Sleeping boss. Jackpot.
Take it out. Grab the crystals. That's what should happen. But Dan-suk gets greedy. He tells his main party they'll mine the crystals first, while the boss is asleep. And he tells Jin-Woo and this other low-rank hunter, Eugene, to wait outside the boss room.
Wait, leave them behind while they take the loot? That sounds suspicious.
Very. As soon as Dan-suk and his core team are inside, they use magic to seal the entrance, trapping Jin-Woo and Eugene outside the boss room, but still inside the dungeon.
What? They just abandoned them and sealed them in.
Total betrayal. Jin-Woo immediately realizes what's happening. He remembers hearing stories about how dangerous other hunters can be, especially when high-value loot is involved. Crime rates inside dungeons are apparently pretty high.
So Dan-suk planned to take all the crystals and leave Jin-Woo and Eugene to deal with whatever happens, maybe even hoping they die so there are no witnesses. That's cold.
Ice cold. And just as they realize they're trapped, guess what wakes up? The boss. A giant armored spider.
Of course.
Yep.
The sleeping boss wakes up right after they get betrayed. Perfect timing.
Eugene, the other trapped hunter, is terrified. But then he sees Jin-Woo move. The speed, the confidence. It's nothing like the weak E-rank porter he thought he was stuck with. Eugene is stunned.
The mask is slipping. Eugene's seeing the real Jin-Woo starting to emerge.
We get this quick flashback here, kind of symbolic. An older, seemingly washed-up martial artist easily defeats a much younger, highly skilled opponent in a spar. A little reminder not to judge by appearances.
Nice touch. Definitely applies to Jin-Woo right now.
Back to the spider fight. Jin-Woo goes head-to-head with it. It's tough. His attacks are bouncing off its thick armor. He realizes brute force isn't going to cut it.
So he needs a plan.
Yep. He starts using his skills strategically. He uses his dash skill for bursts of speed, dodging attacks, looking for an opening. Then he gets an idea. His dagger has a special effect, right? Paralysis.
Ah, status effects. Smart.
He waits for the perfect moment, dashes in close, and stabs the spider in a vulnerable spot, triggering the paralysis. While it's stunned, he finishes it off. A tough fight, but he won using his skills and strategy.
Nice. He took down a C-rank boss solo. That's huge progress from the guy who almost died in an E-rank dungeon.
Huge. But the trouble's not over. Just as the spider dies, Dan-suk and his party come back through the now unsealed entrance, bags full of mana crystals.
Oh boy, they see the dead boss.
And they immediately assume Eugene must have killed it, maybe with some hidden trump card. They definitely don't suspect Jin-Woo. But Dan-suk can't have witnesses to his betrayal. He looks at his crew and gives the order. Kill them both.
He's really going through with it, trying to kill them after abandoning them. What a piece of work.
But just as Dan-suk's crew moves to attack, Jin-Woo gets another message from the system. An urgent quest.
Urgent quest? What does it say?
Kill all enemies who harbor murderous intent towards you. The system is ordering him to fight back, to eliminate Dan-suk and his party.
Whoa. The system is actively telling him to kill other humans. That's a major escalation.
It is, but it's self-defense. They were going to kill him and Eugene. So Jin-Woo fights, and it's brutal. He uses his vastly superior speed, strength, and skills. Dan-suk and his crew, who thought they were ambushing two weaklings, are completely overwhelmed.
They had no idea what they were messing with.
None at all. Jin-Woo takes them down. It's clear he's wrestling with having to kill people, but the system framed it as a necessity for survival. During the fight, he even unlocks a new skill called Murderous Intent, which seems to be like an intimidation aura.
So he survived, defended Eugene, and got stronger, but at a cost.
Definitely. As soon as the last traitor falls, the urgent quest completes, and the dungeon itself starts to collapse. The Association investigators later find the aftermath, but the official report ends up crediting Eugene with the boss kill, probably because he was the higher-ranked hunter still alive. Jin-Woo's involvement stays hidden.
Convenient for Jin-Woo, keeps his secret safe. But he had to cross a line.
Yeah, the internal conflict is there. But he also gets rewards from the quest. Immunity to status effects and enhanced regeneration. The system keeps making him stronger, more resilient.
Those are powerful buffs. He's becoming less and less like a normal human.
After they get out, Eugene is obviously blown away by Jin-Woo. He tries to recruit him again, this time for his father's new guild they're trying to start. He offers a ridiculous amount of money, even offering to give Jin-Woo an entire building as the guild headquarters.
Wow, that's a serious offer. Eugene knows talent when he sees it, even if he doesn't understand it.
It's tempting. But Jin-Woo thinks about it. He knows the system is allowing him to grow at an insane rate. He calculates his potential. He could surpass S ranks. Joining a normal guild now might just hold him back. So, respectfully, he declines Eugene's offer.
He's playing the long game. He knows his path is different.
But his troubles aren't over. News travels fast. Dan-suk, the B-rank trader, had a brother. An S-rank hunter currently working in America named Dan-Soo.
S rank?
Yeah. Dan-Soo hears about his brother's death in a dungeon raid where Eugene and Jin-Woo were the only survivors. He's furious and vows revenge. He starts making plans to come to Korea to find out what happened and deal with those responsible.
So now Jin-Woo potentially has an S-rank hunter gunning for him? The stakes keep rising.
They really do. Meanwhile, Jin-Woo just keeps training. He pushes himself on the daily quests, doing way more than the minimum required. And his dedication pays off. He gets a blessed loot box.
Blessed. Sounds special.
It is. Inside is another key. This one leads to a place called the Demon's Castle, an S-rank instance dungeon.
S rank. Is he ready for that?
Probably not, but the description of the dungeon mentions it contains the ingredients needed to craft the elixir of life.
The elixir of life. A potential cure for his mother's eternal sleep disease.
Exactly, the ultimate prize. He has to try.
Okay, now that's motivation, even if it's S rank.
He cautiously enters the demon's castle. It looks like, well, a demonic castle. And the very first guardian he encounters, a massive three-headed dog, a Cerberus.
Yikes. Straight into the fire.
He tries to fight it, but the power difference is insane. He realizes immediately he's way out of his league. Despite all his progress, he's getting overwhelmed fast.
So even with his rapid growth, S rank is still a whole other level.
Absolutely. He takes a heavy hit, nearly dies again. He's forced to use a rare, life-saving item he probably got from the system, a teleportation stone. It yanks him out of the dungeon just in the nick of time.
Phew, close call. But a valuable lesson learned. He knows what he needs to aim for now.
Definitely. He's more determined than ever to get back into the demon's castle and get those ingredients for his mom. But he knows he needs to get much, much stronger first. This leads him back to Eugene.
I'm gonna take his offer this time.
Sort of. He agrees to help Eugene's fledgling guild by clearing dungeons for them, generating income and reputation. But on one condition, he clears the dungeons alone.
Alone? How does that help the guild's reputation if no one sees him?
Eugene comes up with a clever workaround. He forms a strike team composed of Jin-Woo and a bunch of other low-rank, seemingly useless hunters. Officially, this team clears the dungeons. Unofficially, Jin-Woo goes in solo, clears it in record time, and the others just basically collect the loot and walk out.
Haha, okay, that's a pretty smart cover. Jin-Woo gets his solo training, Eugene's guild gets the clears. Win-win.
Exactly. So Jin-Woo starts power leveling like crazy, clearing C rank and even some B rank dungeons completely solo. He's gaining levels, skills, becoming incredibly proficient. He picks up a powerful stealth skill during this time too.
Stealth. That fits his style. He's always been operating in the shadows, metaphorically speaking.
Totally. He eventually reaches a high enough level that the system notifies him. It's time for his job change quest.
Job change, like specializing his class.
Seems like it. The quest location directs him towards the territory managed by the White Tiger Guild.
Ah, back to them. Are they still suspicious of him?
The guild's chief manager, a guy named Sang, definitely is. He's been quietly investigating Jin-Woo, connecting the dots between the double dungeon incident, the golem incident, all these things. Jin-Woo miraculously survived. He suspects a reawakening, even if the official tests were negative.
Smart guy. He knows something's up.
Sang intercepts Jin-Woo and tries to recruit him directly for White Tiger, offering massive salary, way more than most A-rankers get.
Tempting offer from a top guild.
It is. But just then, Eugene calls Jin-Woo with an even more ridiculously extravagant offer for his own guild. Jin-Woo, showing some loyalty and maybe enjoying tweaking the big guild, turns Sang down flat.
Haha, poor Sang. Outbid by the upstart.
Sang is persistent, though, hinting he knows Jin-Woo is hiding something. So Jin-Woo gives him a little demonstration. He activates his stealth skill and just vanishes.
Yeah.
Right in front of Sang's eyes. Then reappears behind him.
Whoa. A direct threat, basically. Stay quiet or else.
Pretty much. It works. Sang is thoroughly intimidated and agrees to keep Jin-Woo's secret. Jin-Woo then makes a deal with him, selling the clearing rights to some future S-rank gates that might appear in Eugene's territory for a hefty sum, funneling the money into Eugene's guild.
He's really learning to play the political and economic game now, too. Using his knowledge and power strategically.
Definitely growing in more ways than one. After settling things, he heads off to a secluded forest area to finally begin his job change quest, accepting the challenge, whatever it might be.
All right, the job change quest. This sounds big.
He enters the quest dungeon. It's another unique space. This time he's facing waves of enemies that look like medieval knights, assassins, and mages. A whole variety.
Testing his versatility, huh?
Yeah, and he realizes quickly he needs more than just strength and speed.
Huh.
The mages are tricky. He needs higher intelligence or perception to deal with them effectively. He also finds some cool loot, invisible armor that offers protection without restricting movement. Perfect for him.
Nice. Invisible armor plus stealth. He's becoming a ghost.
Then he reaches the boss. An imposing, heavily armored knight radiating immense power. The system names him Knight Commander Igris the Bloodred.
Igris. Sounds formidable.
He is. The fight is incredibly intense. Jin-Woo's dagger, the one he got from the penalty zone, barely scratches Igris's armor. It's almost useless. He's forced to discard it and fight Igris completely barehanded.
Barehanded against a heavily armored knight commander. How can he even win?
It seems impossible. While this epic fight is happening, we cut away briefly to the Hunters Association president, Gun. He's looking over plans for an upcoming mission to Jeju Island, a place notorious for a past hunter failure, a place crawling with powerful monsters. Just planting a seed for later.
Jeju Island. Got it. Sounds like future trouble. But back to Jin-Woo versus Igris.
Jin-Woo is taking a beating, but he's learning Igris's patterns, using his speed, his skills, everything he has. It's a desperate struggle, relying on pure grit, skill, and maybe a bit of luck. And somehow, against all odds, he manages to defeat Igris.
Wow, he actually beat him barehanded. That's incredible. Job change complete.
Not quite. Just as he catches his breath, the system announces the quest isn't over. Phase 2 begins. Survival. Suddenly portals open and knights start pouring out. Countless knights summoned by hidden mages. And the worst part? A new rule pops up. All healing and recovery effects are disabled.
No healing against an endless wave of knights. That's just cruel.
Totally. He has to survive for a specific amount of time. He uses stealth, his murderous intent skill to try and control the crowd, but there are just too many. His mana is draining fast. He's taking hits he can't recover from. He's overwhelmed.
Defeated.
No. He fails the quest. What happens? Penalty time again?
Yep. Just as he's about to be finished off, the penalty system kicks in, saving him in a weird way. He's teleported back to that familiar, horrible centipede desert.
Oh, man, back there. But wait. But this time, he's way stronger than his first visit. He sees the penalty not just as punishment, but as an opportunity. He spends the entire penalty duration hunting those giant centipedes, leveling up like crazy. He gains a ton of levels, boosts his stats significantly. He even gets a new, much more powerful dagger, and learns a cool telekinetic skill called Ruler's Hand.
He turned the penalty zone into his personal training ground. That's brilliant.
Right, so when the penalty ends, he returns to the Job Change Quest dungeon, right where he left off, but now significantly stronger. The endless nights. He cuts through them like butter. He uses his improved senses and speed to hunt down the mages, summoning them.
Nice. Taking out the source. Smart.
The remaining mages make a last stand, summoning a final, massive golem. But Jin-Woo, with his new power level and skills, manages to defeat it too.
Awesome. So now the quest is done.
Now it's done. The system congratulates him.
Yeah.
His new job class is revealed. Necromancer.
Necromancer. Huh. He's mostly been a physical fighter and assassin type. That's unexpected.
It is. But then the system adds something else. Because he performed so exceptionally well, clearing the dungeon far beyond expectations, especially after the level boost from the penalty, his class has evolved. He hasn't just become a necromancer. He's unlocked a hidden, unique class. Shadow Monarch.
Shadow Monarch. Whoa. That sounds way cooler and much more powerful.
Totally. And it comes with a defining skill. Shadow Extraction. He can attempt to extract the mana signatures, the shadows of defeated enemies, and turn them into his loyal soldiers.
Wait, he can raise the dead, like build an army from the things he kills?
Essentially, yeah. His own shadow army. He tries it first on the regular knights he defeated. Success. Shadow soldiers rise. Then he looks at the body of the toughest opponent he faced, Igris.
Can he extract Igris's shadow? That would be insane.
He focuses, chants a command. Arise. It takes effort, but it works. The shadow of Knight Commander Igris rises, pledging loyalty to Jin-Woo. He now has an incredibly powerful Shadow Knight as his commander.
Okay, that is an absolute game changer. He's not just a solo fighter anymore. He's a one-man army.
Right. It's a massive leap in power. But life goes on. He has to try and balance this insane power with, normal stuff, like attending his sister Gina's parent-teacher conference at school.
The image of the Shadow Monarch discussing grades is kind of funny.
It is. And guess who else is involved in school stuff? He runs into Sanchi, the hunter from the Double Dungeon, the one who lost his arm.
Oh yeah, Sanchi, how's he doing?
He's recovered, seems okay, adapting to the missing arm. And they find out they're both scheduled to participate in the same upcoming Hunter Association raid. Small world.
Back into the dungeons. Does Sanchi know about Jin-Woo's power-up?
It doesn't seem like it yet. This raid they're assigned to is weird. It includes a group of convicts, prisoners who are being forced to participate as disposable manpower to clear the dungeon, probably to reduce their sentences.
Using convicts in raids? That sounds incredibly dangerous and ethically murky.
Definitely. And they're being overseen by this B-rank hunter guard named Kang, who seems like bad news. Jin-Woo immediately senses something off about Kang and the convicts and quietly warns Ji and Sanchi to be cautious around them.
Good call. Trust Jin-Woo's instincts by now.
Inside the dungeon, they encounter some goblins. The convicts dispatch them almost too easily, way too skillfully for typical prisoners just forced into this. Sanchi notices it too, raising his suspicions.
So these aren't just random thugs, they have combat experience.
Seems like it. Then we get a quick flashback. We see Kang meeting with a man, a grieving father whose daughter was likely harmed or killed by these specific convicts. The father has paid Kang a lot of money to make sure these convicts don't make it out of the dungeon alive.
What? So Kang is planning to murder them inside the dungeon under the guise of a raid accident.
Exactly. It's a revenge plot disguised as official hunter business. Once the convicts have cleared most of the monsters, Kang makes his move. He betrays them, attacking them viciously. Then, to eliminate witnesses, he turns on Sanchi and Ji's C-rank party leader, Kim.
This Kang guy is scum, attacking his own side and helpless prisoners.
Total scumbag. But Jin-Woo isn't having it. He steps in, easily stopping Kang's attack. Kang is shocked who is this low-rank hunter interfering. A fierce fight breaks out between Jin-Woo and the B-rank Kang.
B-rank versus the Shadow Monarch. Kang is in for a surprise.
Big surprise. Jin-Woo completely outclasses him, showcasing his speed, strength, and skills. He defeats Kang soundly. He even manages to acquire Kang's stealth skill somehow through this system.
He can get skills from people he defeats now, too. Wow.
Looks like it. After dealing with Kang, Jin-Woo tells Sanchi he has something else to attend to and leaves the rest of the dungeon clearing to Sanchi's party. He dips out.
Leaving Sanchi to explain what just happened.
Pretty much. Later, another hunter team led by Ginchiel arrives for support and finds the aftermath. Dead convicts had defeated Kang. Sanchi, wanting to protect Jin-Woo's secret identity and rapidly growing power, claims he defeated Kang.
Loyal friend Sanchi, covering for him.
Yeah. Ji, deeply affected by everything she's been through, the double dungeon, the golem, now this betrayal, decides she's had enough. She tells Jin-Woo she's retiring as a hunter. She gives him back that essence stone he'd given her way back when. It's a poignant farewell.
Understandable. Hunter life is brutal. Good for her for getting out.
As Jin-Woo is leaving, Kinjil pulls him aside with a serious warning. News has arrived. Dan-Soo, the S-rank hunter, Dan-Suk's brother, is officially on his way to Korea. He's coming for revenge.
The S-rank threat is real now. He's actually coming.
Yep. Trouble is definitely brewing. And that's where we leave Jin-Woo for this recap, preparing with Eugene and his ragtag strike team for their next venture, likely in S-rank 8. Still hiding his true power as the Shadow Monarch, but knowing a powerful enemy is actively hunting him.
Wow, what a journey already. From the absolute weakest to, well, a hidden monarch with his own army and S-rank enemies.
So what does this all mean? This seemingly weak hunter, Jin-Woo, has unlocked a power that defies the very rules of their world. He went from being the weakest to someone capable of feats no one thought possible.
It's fascinating. He's literally breaking the system they all live by.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Imagine the implications. If one hunter can continuously level up, get stronger indefinitely, what does that do to the established hierarchy, the balance of power? S-ranks might not be the ceiling anymore.
It throws everything into question, doesn't it? How society is structured, how they value hunters, the very nature of awakened things. Could others gain this power? Is Jin-Woo unique? So many questions.
And this deep dive only scratches the surface. Think about the mysteries surrounding the sister itself. Where did it come from? Why Jin-Woo? And the demon's castle, the elixir of life. Is it real? Can he get it? Plus, the looming threat of Dan-Soo.
Right. What other secrets are buried in this world? What other challenges, what other insane power-ups are waiting for Jin-Woo as his journey continues? It feels like we've only seen the beginning.
Absolutely. His potential seems almost limitless now.
It's going to be a wild ride watching him navigate all of that.
All right, everyone. That's all the time we've got for today's awesome recap here on Otaku Central.
We hope you enjoyed diving deep into this incredible story with us. It's definitely one of our favorites.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more anime content.
Catch you next time.